Hi, and thank you so much for downloading this quarterly planner that I have created and designed just for you. So I just wanted to give you a few tips and guidance on how to get the most out of your planner. So you'll see in the planner, there are two sections. So you have a section for your vision and you have a section for your action steps. So the important thing is to have this clear, somewhere you can see it, somewhere every day that's going to keep you motivated and enthusiastic about hitting your goals every single day, every single week. So one of the reasons most people don't achieve their goals is because they don't identify with that person that in the future, their future self, that achieves those goals, that has that thing. So what we're going to do before we start writing our action steps is to get clear on what we want, why we want it, and really start to visualize having it. So we're making that connection between present self and future self, and we're really embodying it in the now. And that's going to help push you and pull you through the obstacles that you'll face, through the hard times and the doubts. So I'm just looking at the planner just now. So for your intention is just your focus. What are you going to focus on? What do you want to achieve? One of my favourite things is to think about how I want to feel, and that is my North Star for what I do. To help, it helps support me in my actions. So during this quarter, we're obviously, how do you want to feel? And then think about how you're going to feel after the 90 days. So we set 90-day goals because they're long enough to see results. So we feel amazing, we feel super proud of ourselves, but they're short enough that we keep interested. We don't lose interest, basically. It's the sweet spot, it's the sweet timeline for motivation, interest, and achievement. And we are more likely to achieve, we're 40% more likely to achieve our goals if we write it down. So you've got a space here for your commitment, writing down in your commitment in black and white. Why is it important that you commit to your vision today? Why is that? Does it have to happen? Why is it happening no matter what? And just to give you a bit of guidance through the 90 days, I have also included the different moon dates of the full moons and the new moons. It's something I work with. The cycles and the phases of the moon have really helped me create my own structure to my timeline rather than looking to our society's timeline of where I should be when. It's a great tool to, working with the moon is a great tool to check in with yourself, what you need, how you're going to give it to yourself, letting go of anything that's not working for you. And when you work with the moon, you are checking in with yourself every fortnight, every 2 weeks, and you're letting go of anything that's not working once a month. So you're constantly refreshing that energy, you're constantly refreshing that, you're constantly releasing any negative feelings, thoughts, actions. So when you're constantly tweaking your behaviour and your actions, when you get to the end of the year, it's going to be a totally different year compared to if you hadn't done that. So that's why I've included the moon dates in there. And again, take what you want from this planner. These are the tools and info that has worked best for me. But take what works for you and leave what doesn't. If the moon dates aren't really your thing, just ignore that, block it out, whatever you want to do. It's your planner. So if you move over to the The next section, you'll see you've got sections for your first, second and third month of the quarter. And you've got your goals, goal section, action steps, and you've got a review as well. So your monthly review is a great time to do that at the end of the month or on the full moon. And it's important not to overwhelm yourself with action steps and goals. Sometimes we can be really motivated and enthusiastic at the start of the month and set 20 goals that we feel we can 100% achieve. But when you're maybe likely to achieve 10% of that, if we're honest. But what I would invite you to do is to increase your success rate, but reduce the amount of goals you're setting. So between 3, no more than 5. I feel like 3 is the sweet spot. 3 goals per month is totally achievable, attainable. And you'll feel amazing. You'll feel so proud of yourself when you hit all 3, when you've got 100% success rate of achieving your goal for that month. And that's, again, is going to compound throughout the quarters. And then at the end of the year, you're going to have achieved so much more. So again, those goals are going to be your focus for this month. But what are you going to do to get there? What's one, even if you think about one step that you can take that's going to get you closer to that goal, write it in your action step section. And obviously life happens, so we're going to prepare for that. This is a game plan for the preparation for the obstacles that could pop up this month and this quarter. That could be sickness, whether it's yourself or loved ones that you need to care for. It could be time management. It could be energy, lack of motivation. It could be money. That might be an obstacle. Whatever it is, when we shine a light on it, it becomes less scary and more possible to overcome. So when you're clear and when you're clear on the possible obstacles that could pop up, you can then prepare for them. You can put an action plan in place for when and if they pop up. A possible goal, a possible support to that goal, to that obstacle. Put that down in front of you. When you've got that, you're clear. You're more prepared for when it does happen. And again, it's important not to just move on to the next goal. It's important not to just move on to the next month without reviewing and looking at what your highlights were, your wins, what were the challenges, what worked, what didn't work, what went well, what did you learn? And again, this is all evidence that you're building to make the next quarter bigger and better. So by the end of the year, it looks totally different than the year before. We're not about living the same year again. We want to see the changes. We want to make the changes. We want to live to our full potential. We want to feel so excited and so energized and feel so proud of ourselves at the end of this quarter and at the end of this year, that we're going to have all this evidence when we look back of how we achieved it. And again, it's important to compound that evidence within ourselves, embody that evidence, embody that confidence of that win, of that highlight. So at the end of each month, I would invite you and highly recommend to reward yourself. And it can be as big or as little as you want, but I would definitely recommend doing this for yourself. It's about cheerleading yourself. It's about rewarding, celebrating the hard work that you've done, the being consistent, showing up for yourself, showing up and doing the work, completing it, achieving. It's all about recognizing yourself. And again, you can do little, make it your own, create your own rules. You can make it little rewards, for each month, and then at the end of the quarter you could reward yourself with something bigger. Or you could just have big rewards at the end of every month, because sometimes 4 weeks can be a really long time. It seems really short when it's written down on paper. It seems really, really short, but sometimes in the grand scheme of things and in life, when everything's happening, it can feel really long, and it can be a real achievement just to get to the end. So each month has the same sections. So once you've done one, it's about repeating that. So it's getting into this good habit, it's getting into this good practice that will stand you in good stead for the next quarters throughout the year. And then once you've got this practice embedded in your routine, then you can do that again start next year. So have a think about your big goal. What I would recommend is having a think about the big goal you want to achieve this year. Break it down into 4 steps, 4 tasks, 4 sections into 4. So that's your quarterly goals. And then you're going to break them into what do you need to do per month and what do you need to do per week. So think about how that works for you, how that looks for you, and plug it into your month that's in your quarterly planner. And you'll see in the email, at the body of the email, there is a recommendation for your print spec. If you want to get these printed, I would recommend A3 is the perfect size for me, but obviously speak to your printer. They are set at the A size, that they can be increased and enlarged to A2, A1 if you really want to go that big. But have a conversation with the printer. They can totally recommend it, but it's a high printer spec that you can then send forward on to them, or you can print it on your home printer at home, if you've got an A3 printer, or A4, whatever works for you. But if you've any issues or questions, please message me, comment on my Instagram page. I am Stacey Wilson, or go to my Facebook page. I am here for you. So hopefully that's given you some tips and some guidance on how to use it, but just have fun with it. Enjoy saying bye to this feeling overwhelmed, saying bye to this lack of energy and headspace. You're going to have everything out in front of you that's going to remind you every day of why you're doing these goals, why they're important. So you're going to have your what you need to do and why it's so important you do it. So it's going to really help you keep you motivated, and really just enjoy it, and enjoy it, and just appreciate that you've made this first step for yourself and just getting clear on your goals and making them happen. So enjoy, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.